Hello, everyone. We're just getting set up here. We'll be starting in a couple minutes. Just testing the microphones. This going. Oh. All right. How's everyone doing tonight? How's everyone doing tonight? We're just getting set up. Couple minutes and we will be live. Don't forget, we got the chat going. So if you have a response to anything I'm saying, feel free to chat with me. That'll be pretty awesome. Oh, it's been a long day and a lot has happened in a week. Can you believe it? So I got a lot of topics to cover tonight. We got some people tuning in here. All right, we will be live here in a few minutes. Hello, everyone. I am Agent Red Fox 1701. Welcome back to the Portal Hunter Club. We have Season 2, Episode 2, Battle of the Fonts. If you haven't noticed already, if you're living under a rock, we are at war with Typeface. Various fonts are attacking agents, and we need to defeat their challenges to defeat the fonts. We defeated Myriad with the hack challenge. We defeated, who else did we defeat? Helvetica. That was they, I guess, were defeated over the weekend with the field tests. We'll be talking about that in a few minutes here. What was the glyph one? Can't remember that glyph one. Aurora. We yes, Comic Sans. We are going to battle Comic Sans soon. We did not defeat Aurora with the Glyph Hack Challenge, and we have a new foe, Avenir, coming soon, which we will also be talking about in a few minutes here. So, welcome everyone. As you noticed, I've got the little lower third here thing, so you can know what topic is being discussed at any time. Don't forget, feel free to talk in the chat. Comment about anything I'm saying. I love chatting with people and talking about what's going on here. So let's talk about our first event here. Let's talk about field tests. So field tests just happened. They happened on Saturday in, I think it was it 45 different cities? I think it was 45 or 50, somewhere in there, different cities. And it was a pretty interesting thing from what I've heard. Now, I didn't personally attend one of the field tests, but a lot of my friends did. They supposedly, it was a fun time. It was an individual event. So I have a picture of, let's see. Okay, so here's some of the challenges that you had to do. You had to collect at least 6 media artifacts. You had to make 36 successful portal hacks. You had to deploy at least 30 resonators. You had to deploy at least 12 mods, gain at least 30 glyph points, and walk at least 3 kilometers. So yeah, it was an interesting challenge. From what I've been hearing, the kilometers piece was difficult, especially for Europeans. There must have been some issue with what was going on with their data collection that was fixed for the Americas, so people were able to get their kilometers, although some people were like just shy of getting that 3 kilometers. Now, Niantic did end up giving the badge to anyone who registered and attended. And actually, we have a picture of the badge too. Yeah. Okay, so here's what the badge looked like. And you got the one, if you attended the field test and did some things. I think you had to complete at least the minimum of each challenge to get the badge. And then if you were in the top 10% of one of the 6 challenges at the city that you attended, then you got the special badge, which is what's showing there. So, we had the special badge for folks who got the elite. They were part of the elite of Ingress. One thing that was cool too is Niantic must have been so the field tests. The purpose of the field tests is so that they can test various technical things as it's happening. I'm sure they were. I'm sure they were testing all sorts of back end things with Redacted going away in a few weeks here. Actually, in what is it? 1 week, 2 weeks? I think we got 2 weeks left of Redacted. So the other thing was that they were testing. Let me get to the next picture. Stats. So they had live stats actually going on as you were competing in the event. So you could see as you were going how far you were in different events. And I don't know if it showed, maybe someone can respond. I don't know if it showed elite while you were playing or if it was at the end of the event total. But a lot of agents were reporting that these were very live stats. Like as soon as they hacked a portal, they could see it in this thing, which I think is actually a really cool ad. And I'm hoping that maybe coming in the anomalies soon, you'll be able to see your live stats and those kind of things. That's one thing that I know Niantic has struggled with. There was one anomaly that they promised stats and it never actually sent, or maybe it sent like 6 months afterwards. They've had those stats pages that were emailed to you like months afterwards. This, I think, is something that's really cool. That they're trying some new stuff, and I think, and it looks like it did update to the elite status as people were playing, so that's cool. Yeah, and it updated about every 5 minutes ish, so not exactly live, about every 5 minutes, which is still pretty good considering all that was going on. Field tests, again, from the chats that I'm in, it seemed like people were having a good time, so I'm definitely looking forward to the next round of field tests. I know I submitted my local city here for one. We'll see if that happens, but yeah, I'm definitely excited. I want to attend the next one, and I'm curious. I know the badge. Let me go back to that badge picture. So this one was the hexathlon. That I got a squeaky chair today. This one was the hexathlon, and it'll be interesting to see if there's new names, new badges for each of the different ones, because obviously, unlike say Mission Day, where it's counting up how many you have attended, this one, it was either you've attended it, won, or you're in the top 10% elite for the 10 badge. So we'll see what happens with that. That was really cool. So I'm excited for field tests, and we'll see when and where they happen next. Our next topic tonight is our Hank Johnson video stream. So earlier today, I think it was 1700 or 5 p.m. UTC. It was noon my time. Hank Johnson from the 1218. So this is something. There's different universes in the lore, or in the narrative, however you want to call it. There's our universe is apparently called the Osiris universe. Then there is the 1218 universe, which it appears where Hank Johnson and some of the other original sensitives came from. Then we have the Prime universe, where the new sensitives have come from. So we had the Hank Johnson video stream earlier, and he was talking a lot about things coming up. There were some cut-ins, and let me show you one of these cut-ins here. So this is one of the images. Actually, it was a video which I have. This video will come in. I have a clip of it. Remember last time there was mention of now it's called the tessellation. So there's the RPE board, which is now called the tessellation. We got a new image this time in the live video to talk about. Okay, it said check your scanners for any tiles and hold on to them. So media objects are what we're looking for now. We're looking for hexagonal media objects. We don't know what they're used for, how they're going to be used. Let me show that little clip. So you can see there's, oh, that was a slow. There was a very slow movement of pieces on this board. It was really interesting. And if you look, I got a picture of the Okay, so here is the board from last time, and you can see the person was moving the tiles along this board. Maybe not all of the media objects are on this board right now. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out in the future. And another thing with the Hank stream, let me bring up that picture. We see Stuart in the background. So you have 1218 Hank, and then you have Stuart, which is Hank's friend or something. We're not quite sure. This is a new person that's been involved in the Ingress lore with the Sensitives. So some folks in Operation Essex are surmising that he is actually a Nemesis person, which could be interesting because we don't want anything bad to happen to Hank. Hank is one of the favorite characters. So it'll be interesting to see. I guess Stuart is helping him fix. Let me go back to the picture. Stuart's helping Hank fix this room, one of the Dunraven chambers. And this chamber is sort of like, do you remember in the Matrix where they went into that room and they could pick all the different guns and stuff, and like it was between all of the other universes? I think there was the one, it's like the hallway of doors. That's kind of that Dunraven chamber. It's sort of a, from what I can tell, it's sort of a alleyway between all the different universes. And some of the Sensitives have been in those chambers. They've appeared in other places and things. So I think they're trying to figure out how do they combine the RPE board, or now what's called the tessellation, to that room. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Yeah, so the Hank Johnson video, that was a pretty interesting thing. There's always little teases and things in these Niantic videos. Remember last week they were teasing the shards, which we're going to talk about next. They teased the tessellation, so we're starting to get more of these teases coming along in these videos. So anyway, on to our next topic for today. We have the Avenir shards. So the Avenir shards are going to be an interesting challenge, and I have a picture of Avenir here. This is the frightful demon Avenir, or Nemesis person Avenir. So where Helvetica failed in collecting the media, we collected the media from Helvetica. That person could not collect the media. So therefore, they are banished to wherever Avenir has banished this person. One thing I found interesting, and you can't really see it in the picture, but in these videos, they seem to zoom in on the necklaces of the Nemesis people. I don't know what it means. I haven't figured it out yet, but if anyone has any ideas, that would be interesting to know. It'll be, so Avenir, they're zooming in on the necklaces. Avenir is the next font that we're battling. Avenir shards is the next big challenge, and if you've never done shards before, you are in for a wild ride, especially this time. So this time we have to do cross-faction shards. So starting, and I have the, hopefully this person doesn't yell at me, I kind of stole their infographic. That button. Okay. Starting tomorrow, at the time of this broadcast, tomorrow, at, what does it say? 2100 UTC, which is pretty late at night. These shards are going to start spawning. There's going to be 4 targets globally, and I believe they're starting with 4 shards. So we're going to have 4 targets and 4 shards spawning somewhere in the world. We have no idea. None of the videos, I was hoping that the Hank Johnson video would kind of tease anything about these shards. They didn't do that. So we're going to be completely blindsided at what these shards are. And the best analogy that I've come up with for shards is a soccer game. So you have 4 goals. Now, usually these are, resistance are battling against Enlightened to try and get them into each of the goals. But there's there's 4 goals, and we need to kick the ball. The ball is the shard, and we need to kick the ball. Kicking is the links, along links, and we have to get them into the goal. They can be connected to level 4 portals, and they jump every 5 hours, so essentially a checkpoint. So at that exact time, just like a checkpoint, when you have to have your field up at that checkpoint, you have to have the shard link up at that time, and the shard will jump along that link. If you have too many links, you don't know which link it's going to go down, so be very careful. There's a lot of precise operations that happen with these in cutting through cities and things, and being very careful, because just like in an anomaly, if you link to a target but then some person links way outside or links 5 different things to your portal, you don't know where those shards are going to go. They could separate, they could go to the right, one could go to the right thing. We don't know where they're going to go, so you have to be very careful that your link goes exactly where you want it to go. We want to try and get them as close to the goals as possible, and then we want to score them. It'll be interesting to see if we can score. So these are cross-faction, meaning it doesn't matter who scores the links or what color the link is or what color the portal is for the target. Collectively, the Resistance and the Enlightened have to get these shards to the goals. And I think every couple of days they're going to spawn 3 more. So we only have 2 weeks. Let me go back here. We only have 2 weeks till September 30th, which is pretty much the exact time that Redacted's going away, is when this challenge will end. So we have 2 weeks. They jump every 5 hours. Now, what's at stake here is going to be extremely critical. We win this competition by scoring at least 7 of the 13 shards. So we got to get a majority of them. If we get 7 or more, any agent that's hacked a portal during that time will get a badge for Avenir. If we score, I think it's, sorry, this image is really small. Oh, come on. Okay, if we score 10 to 12, then we will get 1.5 times more Ada or Jarvis out of portal. So the hack rate for Ada and Jarvis are going to go up by about 50% if we score 10 to 12 shards. If we score 13 shards, then we're going to get 1.5 times more Ada and Jarvis out of portals and Aegis shields, which is a huge thing, especially with the anomaly coming up. So it will be interesting to see if we're able to score all the shards. Remember, we have to score at least 7, and if we can get 10 out of the 13, we get these bonuses and hack rates. It'll be interesting to see. Now, if we don't succeed, that's worse, and that's significantly worse. So if we get 1 to 6 shards, the decay rate of portals is going to go down or up by 50%. So instead of a week that a portal is live, it'll be, what is that, 3.5 days, which is not very long. So it's half the time. Portal will decay in half the time, and that's if we score 1 to 6 shards. If we score 0 shards at all, nothing, then the decay rate will increase by 75%. And if I calculated that right, that means a portal will only be alive for 42 hours before it completely decays 100%. So remember, when was this? It was probably when Prime first started. Niantic had teased that they were going to do a portal wipe. Like, everything was going to start over when Prime came out. Yes, any portal anywhere will decay by that amount. So when Prime came out, Niantic teased that they were going to completely start everything over. And the community had a huge uproar, and they wanted portals. A lot of people spent a lot of money taking a lot of interesting portals around the world. So Niantic said, okay, we won't delete everything. We're gonna, it's gonna be up to you guys. Well, now it's up to us. So the community as a whole, Resistance and Enlightened, have to decide, do we want these bonuses to help our faction in the anomalies upcoming? Or do we want to not score anything and allow the portals to decay in 42 hours for, I think it's like a week or two, which is a ridiculous amount. So basically, all the portals would be going gray. If those of you remember the Devra virus back then, this harkens back to that, where the collective enlightened and resistance had to capture MU, or it was something that we had to do, a challenge similar to this. And if we didn't do the challenge, well, actually, they turned on the decay rate, so they spiked it up so that portals were decaying quicker. And if we didn't do the thing, then it was going to be stuck like that for a while. We were able to do the thing, the portals returned to a normal decay rate. This is opposite now, so we have to score the shards. And if we don't score the shards, and yes, I believe you can hack any portal anywhere during that time, and if we score the 7 minimum, we can get the badge. So yeah, so it's up to the community to figure this out. So that's the Avenir shards. Talk to your faction leaders, talk to your folks, and I know there's lots of chat spinning up between the two factions to talk about operations and things and what's going to happen. Again, nobody really seems to know where these are going to spawn, where the goals are going to be, or anything. So tomorrow, be ready, because you may be called upon. You may be called upon to do something for your faction. So be ready. So anyway, that's shards. And we will move on to our next topic. Our next topic is scanner improvements. Did anyone notice the latest update? This will be a quick topic, but did anyone notice the latest update? There were a lot of scanner improvements. They drastically increased the coloring. You can see the various level resonators things better. What else did they do? When you hack a portal and the things are flying up on the screen, they actually move that to the side, so the things fly up to the side to not come right in front of the screen. They still haven't fixed when the message pops up to tell you what you've hacked. That's still, you have to click away, and they've said that in certain topics and things on the forums, they've said that that's going to take a couple versions to fix. So they know that that's a problem and they're working on it. So don't worry about that so much. But they're going to fix that. The scanner's much quicker to load. Again, it's not nothing. None of this is perfect, but a lot of people use Prime. You had to use Prime for the field tests. A lot of people noticed that it was actually pretty good. Some people are still noticing crashes and things. We'll see how it goes. But again, this is a extreme improvement, I feel, from the last couple versions. So update your scanner, try it again, get back into it. Prime or Redacted is dying in 2 weeks. So be ready for that. Now is the time to get into Prime. And now it's back, I want to say like 95% of the way there. There's still some issues with speed lock. Again, there's still issues with the message that pops up when you hack. But by and large, it's essentially the same game as Redacted. So, they added event ticketing. You had to register in app for the field tests. That was a new thing. What else do you have? What else did they add? They added in-app help support too. So if you have an issue with the scanner or something, you can click on settings, scroll down to the help center, and you can either go into FAQs or you can go into bug reporting. Kind of a cool little thing that they added there. So that's it for scanner improvements. Our next topic, anomalies. So anomalies are coming up October 12th, and I know the ones in the US are in Brooklyn, Sacramento. There's one in Guadalajara. I know Antwerp, Gothenburg. There's another Europe one somewhere, and there's a couple ones in Asia. So those are coming up fast. If you signed up, great. Actually, you had to, I think, did you have to pay for a ticket? Okay. So here's the thing. You have to pay for a ticket now. We're going to talk about monetization in a minute. That's one of my topics. But the anomalies are coming. If you don't know what those are, talk to you faction people and see what it's about. It's amazing. It's an amazing time. I was at the Madison Myriad one. I was at Chicago Abaddon. I was at Amsterdam Abaddon. It's just an awesome time, and you get to meet agents from all over the world and things. It's a cool time, and you definitely want to go to an anomaly. So, but another thing that's happening here is monetization. So Niantic's done a couple of things now recently, and I know so now's the time for the chat. So if you have questions, or if you have complaints, or if you have suggestions, let's hear them in the chat for monetization. I'll give you my spiel about monetization and see if anyone decides to comment in the chat. So Niantic has increased the price of frackers, which was kind of a weird thing, but they said it's because of the economy of the game and all these kind of things, and they want to improve the monetization of the game. So they raised a couple of the prices in the store. I mean, it happens, I guess, in businesses around the world. Whatever. It's special items that you don't have to buy to play the game. It just time improvements, which I think is actually a cool thing. They do this really well with Pokemon Go, where it's you can either spend the time spinning the stops and doing the gyms and all that kind of stuff to gain money in the game, or you can just outright buy coins in the game. And so it's using real money in Pokemon Go is a time saver. I'm okay with that. With Ingress, you get the frackers and things. You can get beacons, which is just a little fun thing to add. So the other thing they've added now, which is very controversial, is paying to get a ticket to the anomaly. For the last, how long has this game been going? 6, almost 7 years. None of the anomalies have had paid tickets. You could just show up, you sign up, you could pay for swag, you could pay for badges in the game, those little cards and things to gear up, but never have you had to buy a ticket to attend or be counted for the anomaly. And they set the price at $13, and it varies based on where you are in the world. But in the US, it was $13 plus $2 fee plus taxes or whatever. So basically, it rounds out to $15 or $16. I think it was about the same in Europe. I can't speak for the Asian anomalies, but I think it was, they changed some prices based on economies. But it's very controversial because, again, never before have we had to pay for a ticket to go to an anomaly. So immediately they came out and said that this was because of I guess they needed to figure out ways to make money in this game. And they felt that in order to pay for the anomalies and other things, that they had to start charging a fee. One of the things I know as a POC, a point of contact for the anomalies, is Niantic does all of the stuff with licensing and permits and all that kind of stuff. And there's probably, I can't say because I haven't seen their balance sheets and things, but there's probably a fee in some of these cities to be able to host these events that they're paying for. They're reserving space, they're flying their people out there, they're reserving hotel rooms and things, and the conference rooms and those kind of things, the halls for the parties and things. Amsterdam was a huge party in a giant warehouse and all that kind of stuff. So in order to help cover some of those costs, they're starting to charge folks for the anomalies. And that was met with great disdain by the community. So what Niantic ended up doing is, if you bought a ticket, they're going to give you a promo code that will give you 2 paid tickets for free. Not the free tickets. They changed it. I think there was something with a free ticket. Or you could, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think there is a free ticket. You would get 2 paid tickets for free that you could give to people to have them attend the anomaly for free. You have to buy the ticket in order for your score to be counted for the anomaly. So that's a huge thing that's never happened before. And then in order to get the anomaly badge, you have to buy the ticket. And then if you were an offsite helper, like a recharge room or an intel operator, originally they said only recharge, and if you could decode messages for Niantic. You had to still pay the $13 plus whatever, and then your recharging and your decoding would count. Later on, they said that you could, if you were an Intel operator, you could talk to your POC and they would get you signed up on a list. What they're trying to do too here is remove the POC from having to fill out this list. I personally know, and many people probably watching know, these lists that you have to submit to make sure everyone gets their badge. It's a huge hassle, and I'm glad that Niantic has finally found a way to figure that out so that they have control of their own lists and their own badges, and it's all on them, and nobody can yell at me for missing their name because I hate those lists so much. So this is one benefit, but you have to pay for it now, which is another thing. So there is a free ticket. There's a free ticket that allows you to score your score to count for the anomaly, but you don't get a badge. So, if you want to run around and hack and collect media and all that kind of stuff, you won't get the badge if you get the free ticket. But if you bought a ticket, you get 2 promo codes for 2 paid tickets for free to give to people. So I think they're trying to do this to mitigate. So here's where we come to the controversy that I would like to talk about. When they came back and talked about these promo codes and all this kind of stuff, they said, hey, community, if you don't want to do this, then we need your help and come up with ideas and, give us, don't just say boo on you for charging for events. I understand, this is my opinion now, I understand having to charge for an event where you have a private space. So Pokemon Go and Harry Potter, they get a park that's privatized for them for that day that people can go, and you pay for the ticket, you can walk in the park just like some sort of festival or other event. With Ingress, you're walking around your own city. I can't imagine paying $13 plus whatever to walk around the city on my own that I can walk around anyway in order to play this game. So that's one of the issues that I have. The other issue I have is that we've been giving you ideas for the last 6+ years. So don't come to us and say, well, if you don't want to pay for anomalies, give us ideas. We have been giving you ideas. You need to listen to them. I get that Pokemon, you had a lot of stress and a lot, with the money making and all that. And I'm glad that Pokemon Go is a good success. Ingress was clearly on the back burner. There were not a lot of anomalies that happened back then. You had other priorities, you had staff issues. I get all that. But we have been giving you ideas for the last 6+ years. Don't turn this on us and saying, well, if you don't want to pay for anomalies, you better tell us what to do, or, whatever. You have ideas in your inboxes. Figure them out. You seem to have the developer time because you've been developing Prime at a pretty quick pace. So once these new servers get turned on, a lot of people are going to expect a lot of new things very fast. And to tell us that we need to start giving you ideas for monetization when we've been doing that for the last 6.5 years is pretty upsetting to me. So, and feel free, I'll sit here and come up with ideas. Give me a free ticket and I'll give you a free idea. Something, let's work on this here together. There's lots of ideas in your inbox. It's up to you guys, Niantic, to now figure this out. So if anyone has any comments about that, feel free to put that in the chat or put it on the Niantic, better yet, put it on their community, the Ingress community forums where you can put your ideas up there. They're expecting a lot of ideas. Put some of these ideas that have been spinning around for the last, what have we got? New items. We've been waiting for new items forever. First Saturdays and things. These scoreboards with these stats. What if we, charge us $1 or $2 or whatever for our first Saturday? We could have those live stats and make our own game, or give us a dashboard. If I'm running a first Saturday, give me a dashboard of stats and I get to pick, if I pay per player however much, or give us like pay $50, $100, whatever it is, or have each player pay $1 to attend this first Saturday. But the heads of the first Saturday get a dashboard. They could check off which stats, like that field test where you could measure your stats in real time. Let us run our own field test and competitions, but make us pay for it, or let us organize an anomaly. So the last anomaly series, the was it Abaddon? Yeah, it was Abaddon, where we got to, or no, it was Myriad. Myriad, the points of contact globally got to choose the rules. They had their menu of options. They had to order the rules, and then the Resistance and the Enlightened lists were mixed together, and we figured out what the rules were. So that those rules for that anomaly were decided by the local faction. What if you allowed us to run our own anomalies and pick our own rules, but you charge us a fee for that? I'm sure people would love Bake Anomaly. They host their own anomaly. They're doing it for free. You're not getting any money from them for doing that thing, and they got how many people the last couple years to attend that thing? I mean, there's plenty of ideas out there. There have been plenty of ideas for the last 6 years. You guys have to start figuring some of this stuff out too. So don't just lean on your community. We've been giving you this stuff. So that's my monetization tirade. So some of the things, paying for a badge seems silly. I guess, yeah. People have paid lots and lots of money for those character badges. What if you gave us money to, or what if we gave you money to buy the character badges so we could have them all? What if you made us pay $1 or $2 to rearrange the badges? I know that's a big thing, especially the missions. Those mission people, would be willing to pay 2, 5, maybe even $10 to be able to rearrange like their hundreds and thousands of missions that they've been doing for that one that screwed us up. Camp Navarro screwed my bronze Fonz badge thing up, my banner. So there's plenty of ideas out there. You guys need to start implementing them. Let's see, I'm just looking through the comments here. Yeah, less expensive than a character badge. Yeah, better swag. That's one thing that's kind of gone downhill lately, is the swag. And you guys, Niantic, have always had really cool looking swag compared to all of the, not to make fun of the faction swag. The faction swag is great, but the Niantic swag is also great. And I also want to buy it. I want to buy like a Resistance only hoodie. I don't want the Umbra. I'm not going to attend an Umbra anomaly. I want like a cool, you had those ones from Japan with like the weird digi camo back thing. Those were cool. I couldn't get one in time. You guys make cool swag. Bring that back. And I know shipping is a problem, and I know you're a software company and not a clothing company, but still, there are community people out there that are willing to throw in their effort for a little bit of, reward, I guess, for helping you guys out. So there's another monetization thing you guys could do. Yeah, someone said I would pay so many dollars for mission rearranging. There are ideas out there, and I've sent Brian Rose and Andrew Krug a bunch of ideas for gameplay things, and not so much monetization, but I guess I should start thinking about that kind of stuff and seeing if they can implement it. So monetization is a huge topic right now. Go, if you have ideas, if you have complaints, if you have praise, maybe go on the Ingress forums and start posting, because that's where they're looking. Brian and Krug and the Vanguards and all those folks, they're looking at those community forums and seeing what these ideas are. Don't post it in chats and let it die. Post it on the forums, because that's where they are and that's where they're looking. So that's monetization. Finally, our final topic of the night, Anomaly broadcast, October 12th. So we're broadcasting every Monday leading up to Saturday, October 12th with the anomalies. This is going to be big. This has never been tried before. We've done testing of this in various ways. So I will be here in the studio with some anomaly experts. We will be here, and this is a cross-faction thing. Tell anyone, I know there's a lot of blue behind me. This is a cross-faction show. This is a cross-faction broadcast. If you want to get people into anomalies, or you can't attend the anomalies because of whatever reason, tune into the broadcast. We will have anomaly experts in the studio. We'll have the green screen here with the map going. I have one dedicated reporter right now, still working on some others. We will have people in the field doing interviews and running around chasing and trying to see what's going on. And this is going to be real. If you've ever seen the show Live PD, it's going to be like that, but for anomalies. And it's never been tried before. And I'm really excited to do this. So definitely tune in. Tell your friends to tune in. This is going to be a really cool show. We will have the live chat going on so you could talk to people and comment as the anomalies are going. A lot of people enjoyed this when I did it last time. They could tune in, see what happened in the European anomalies and stuff like that. We are guaranteed to do the American anomalies. We're still figuring out the other ones and how much time it's going to take and effort and people. But we will have reporters. I've got my my trusty microphone stick. So these will be going out to the reporters in the field and to interview agents. Again, Enlightened and Resistance. This is a cross-faction effort. And I hope to see you all tune in for that. Again, October 12th. Details of the time obviously will come once we know times of anomalies and things. So anyways, thanks for tuning in, folks. And we hope to see you again next week. And we'll talk about the first week of shards and other stuff that's been happening. So that'll be exciting. We'll be... It's crazy to think the next time I go on air, we will already be halfway through the shards. So lots of craziness coming, and we hope to see you again next week. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Agent Red Fox 1701, and we will see you next week.